Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm here to give you guys my review for Weymouth Youth Wrestling, or WYW for short, Gold Rush Tournament Quarterfinals Episode 2. And this is going to be the last episode of the quarterfinals. So I'm getting very close. I only have this episode and then the mega event to watch before, I'm fully caught up on WYW for Immortal Saturday, which I'm getting very excited for. And I think this episode's going to increase my excitement even more. So, let's kind of break down the episode real quick and talk about what's going to be on the show. So first we have Jack Robinson making his official debut in WYW. He's going to be taking on John Gray in just a regular wrestling match. I actually don't know how match that we're going to be because I've never seen Jack Robinson wrestle before, but I've seen John Gray wrestle, and he had a really good match with Corey Dangerous, so we'll have to wait and see how that goes. We're going to have the final match in the first round of the Althena Championship Tournament. It's going to be Deanna Tommaso, Rebecca Rose, and Lizzie Gray. I've never seen any of them wrestle before, so I really don't know how good this match is going to be either. But, considering the fact that all of the triple threat matches in the Althena Championship Tournament have all been awesome, I expect this match to be the same. And then we're going to have the final two matches in the quarterfinals of the Gold Rush tournament. First, we're going to have Sean Maverick taking on Taka Michinoku. I expect that to be a killer match. They've had awesome matches with they've had awesome matches in the tournament, and they're both awesome wrestlers and characters, so I expect that to really be a show stealer. And then we have Mark Young versus Kyle Weaver. Mark Young had some killer matches in this tournament as well as Kyle Weaver, so I expect that to be a killer match as well. So those are basically all the matches that are going to be on this show. I'm really excited about this show. I really can't wait for it, so I'm going to stop talking and get to the video before I actually do that, though. It's going to be structured the same way as the last, 3 videos, where after each match or segment, I'll come on here and talk about it in small videos, and then I'll just combine it all into a big video. So now that I've talked about that, let's get it right into the review now. Okay, so this episode was uploaded on September 24th, 2018, and we had the president of WYW, James Hebert, breaking character again, because at the time we had, unfortunately, another passing. It was Vincent DeSessa. I think that's how you say his last name. And pretty much he had just passed away. He was 93 when he passed. He was a World War II veteran who, was also like a beloved Weymouth high school teacher. I never really met him personally, so I really can't say anything about him, but James Hebert talked about, pays tribute to him and talks about him, and he announces that now the match between Sean Maverick and Taka Michinoku is going to be a tribute match to him. So I think that's very interesting, and that's pretty much all I have to say about that. Let's get right on to the review. Okay, so first we had a video package kind of recapping everything that took place in the last episode, and I thought it was very well made, so I just wanted to make sure I mentioned it. They used Disturbed's song, The Brave and the Bold, which I thought fit the video package, so I really liked it. Want to make sure I mention it. Okay, so the show took place at Toronto, Ontario, Canada, in the Scioto Bank Arena. And for commentary for this show, we had Nathan Farrar, Jonathan Caterer, and Casey Gallagher. And the show kicked right off with a match. It was John Gray versus Jack Robinson, who's also known as Cruzon. He's got 2 ring names, which I kind of like. It's not a lot of people really use 2 ring names that much. So I think it's pretty cool. And I thought this was a really good match to kick off the show. I liked the storyline that this match told. So I really enjoyed it. You know, John Gray challenged Jack Robinson to this match because he took out Taka Michinoku, and John Gray, you know, has seen Taka Michinoku as like a big influence on him. He's been a big supporter of Taka Michinoku, so he just wanted to kick the crap out of Jack Robinson. So that's how this match pretty much started. John Gray hits a German suplex and then a really cool bulldog onto Jack Robinson, and he dominates him in the beginning. But then Jack Robinson starts to hold his own. He gets John Gray into an Indian Deathlock. He hits a bulldog himself. He hits a really cool high kick, which I really liked. And John Gray, though, is fighting back from all of this. He hits a really awesome powerbomb in this match, a really cool leg drop. He smashes Kuzan's face into the canvas like several times throughout this match, which I thought told a nice story because he wanted him to feel the same pain that Taka Michinoku had to feel. I actually thought that was a clever storyline element of this match. They fight on the outside. John Gray hits an axe handle from the apron. That was pretty cool. John Gray hits an elbow drop from the top rope. And Jack Robinson hits a really cool running clothesline, like a lot in this match. A really cool running DDT, a really cool Hurricanrana from the top rope. Well, top turnbuckle anyways. And I really liked it. John Gray hits, I forget what he calls it, but he hits pretty much of a reverse elevated DDT on the outside is his signature pretty much, but I forget what he calls it. And he tries to have Jack Robinson count it out, but he ends up making it back into the ring and hits another running DDT, hits a really cool neck breaker in this match. And then they fight, onto the outside. He hits like a falcon, like a corkscrew, like a really cool driver onto the concrete and tries to get John Oliver counted out, but John Oliver makes it back. Not John Oliver, John Gray makes it back into the ring. I hope I haven't been saying John Oliver this whole time. I almost did it in one of the takes, but I did it here, but I'm not going to redo this. But John Gray, but he just barely beats the count back into the ring. It's a flaw in the game, but I really wish we could hear the referee's 10 count, 20 count, because it's 20 counts in WYW, because it really gets annoying when you can't hear them. And Jack Robinson just targets the head of John Gray, and he hits a DDT, a neck breaker. He hits like a knee drop from the like as if he's gonna go for like a moonsault and hits him right in the head with the knees to the head. He hits a really cool running neck breaker, but then John Gray mounts a comeback. Let me make sure I got the name right. It's John Gray. Yeah, John Gray. This is what the YouTube description's for. And John Gray starts to mount a comeback. He hits a lift and spear right onto Jack Robinson. Doesn't get the win. Jack Robinson hits the clothesline from hell. Doesn't get the win. And he hits just a regular lariat. Doesn't get the win. John Gray hits a clothesline from hell himself. Doesn't get the win. And then he ends up hitting his finisher, which I forget the name of, but it's pretty much like a fall away slam. But he doesn't get he doesn't go for the win because he just wants to hurt Jack Robinson. But before I talk about the finish, there was another spot I liked when he does the elbow drop onto the outside, and Jack Robinson had before that hit a sunset flip powerbomb on the outside. But then eventually Jack Robinson moves out of the way of an elbow drop, hits a high kick right onto John Gray, and then he hits a reverse superplex. Well, no, just a reverse suplex, which he calls, which is the move he used to take out Taka Michinoku. I don't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but once I start, seeing more of his matches, I'll know the name of the finisher. And he busts open John Gray like right in the mouth, and he doesn't actually pin him there. He stomps his head in a couple of times, and then gets the win. You could say that's unneeded, but I kind of thought that kind of fit Jack Robinson's character, that he just wanted to add a little bit of collateral damage. And I think it's just something cool. We don't really see that type of stuff happen really a lot, so I actually liked it. And I really liked this match. I thought it was a really good way to open the show. So yeah, I really liked it. I'm going to give it 3 3/4. I thought it was a really good match. And yeah, I thought Jack Robinson looked strong here. Made sense for him to win because he just took out Taka Michinoku. And, he's new to the roster, so he obviously had to go over here. So, all of this was 2 thumbs up. Okay, so then we had a backstage brawl between Ian Lancaster, Nick Switchblade, and J Bones. And pretty much the reason this brawl is happening is because they're going to have a table from Hell match. I think at Immortal. I don't exactly remember. Either Immortal at the Mega event, but I don't exactly remember which one. But I really like this brawl. I kind of like it. It was a bunch of chaos. This makes sense because Ian Lancaster and Nick Switchblade cost each other the Gold Rush match. I don't really know what J Bones is doing in there. He kind of just seems random to me, but there has to be some type of reason. Maybe it's something in the test matches I missed or something. But Ian Lancaster is confronting Nick Switchblade, and they're having like a face-to-face segment, and J Bones just comes up from behind and hits a drop kick right to Ian Lancaster's back. And it's kind of like a Pier 6 brawl between everybody, but J Bones and Nick Switchblade are kind of working together. But J Bones hits the AK-47 just on the concrete on the outside onto Nick Switchblade, and Ian Lancaster recovers, and they get into a fight, and Ian Lancaster hits I forget his name of his finisher, but it's a flapjack pretty much, and it busts open J Bones, and Nick Switchblade goes for the carousel, but Ian Lancaster counters it into a DDT. Everybody continues to get into a brawl. Nick Switchblade finally hits the carousel onto Ian Lancaster, and Nick Switchblade hits a running neck breaker. But like I said, J Bones though and Nick Switchblade were kind of working together a little bit. I believe it was J Bones like slammed the door into Ian Lancaster's face. Ian Lancaster got slammed into the wall, and he got the carousel, and J Bones hit the AK-47 on him again, and they think they've laid him out and everything's just gonna be fine, but then Nick Switchblade lays out J Bones with the carousel, and then officials come and break it up. But because it's 2K14, you actually can't see that happen, so you just kind of have to go with it. But I really like this. I thought this backstage brawl was awesome. It definitely intrigued my interest to see the Table from Hell match. And if you want to know what that is, I'll explain what that is when the match actually happens. Because I gotta build intrigue to the next video. But I don't exactly remember if it's happening at Immortal or the Mega event. I think it's Immortal because that sounds like a big match for Immortal. But I like this backstage brawl. I thought it was awesome. I thought it was something different for WYW. They've never really done one of these like really a whole lot, and I thought it built intrigue to the Table from Hell match. Okay, so then we had the triple threat elimination Extreme Rules Falls Count Anywhere Athena Championship Tournament match. It was Deanna Tommaso versus Rebecca Rose versus Lizzie Gray, and this match was absolutely nuts. Like, I'll say this right now. If I tried to break down this match, like, spot for spot, I really couldn't. I'm going to try to, name all the highlights in this match, but there were just so many of them. Like, this match was nuts from the beginning. This easily had to have been the best match out of the Athena Championship tournament. However, I'm going to go back to the criticism, because it seems like it happens a lot in this tournament. In an elimination match, no one should be breaking up pinfalls or submissions, because it doesn't make any sense. Why would you break up a pinfall or submission in an elimination match when it's like a triple threat match? Because you're really hurting your chances to win, and you're hurting your chances of getting that person out. This is like, and it happened the most in this match out of the other 4 matches in this tournament. So, this will be the last time I really rant about it, because, the next, the semifinals are one-on-one matches, but I still think it's just really stupid. Stop that. But this match was crazy from the beginning. Rebecca Rose hits a double knees immediately right onto... No, Rebecca Rose. Lizzie Gray just goes right after Deanna Tommaso, and Rebecca Rose goes on the outside, and she throws in a steel chair as the other 2 women are fighting. And Lizzie Gray goes to town with this steel chair, and they beat the crap out of each other. They hit like a lot of the high spot moves, like hurricanranas and such like that. Deanna Tommaso hit a wicked deviant powerbomb right off the bat. That was really damn cool. And she could have easily gone for the win, but Lizzie Gray continuously went after her. Lizzie Gray hits a hurricanrana. She ended up hitting... Rebecca Rose hit a superplex onto Lizzie Gray, and Deanna Purrazzo put like a table in position, and she went through the table. I thought that was an awesome spot right there. They did some stuff with the ladder where they suplexed each other into the ladder and hit each other with the ladder and threw the ladder at each other. Deanna Purrazzo hit a belly-to-back suplex into the trash can. That was really damn awesome as well. They did a lot of moves where they worked together through, somewhat in the match, like a wheelbarrow suplex, a double gutbuster, a magic killer, which is like a neck breaker, and that was some pretty nuts stuff. Lizzie Gray hits a moonsault, just regular, which was really damn awesome. She hits a finisher, which was like a power bomb, but doesn't get the elimination. Rebecca Rose hits her finisher, but doesn't get the win. And Lizzie Gray hits a skull to skull, which is like a rampage on the outside, which, like I said before, that was pretty damn awesome as well. And Rebecca Rose hits a moonsault onto Lizzie Gray through the table, and Deanna Tommaso ends up attacking her, and then it eventually leads to Rebecca Rose hitting the Price's German suplexes onto the broken part of the table, and then she does the Price's suplexes, and the first 2 goes through. Goes onto the table, the other one goes just onto the ladder, and then she ends up hitting a splash from the top rope, but referee was out of position because Lizzie Gray was grabbing a kendo stick, so this allowed Deanna Tommaso to kick out of it. Lizzie Gray hits both women with the kendo stick, and she hits the skull to skull to Rebecca Rose on the outside, and Deanna Tommaso hits another power bomb, and she waylays Rebecca Rose with a kendo stick several times, and she goes to go off the ladder. She had to reset up the ladder because it got like set up into the crowd. Well, not in the crowd, but like towards the barricade, so she didn't have enough room to climb it. But then she ends up hitting a moonsault from the off the ladder on the outside and recovers Rebecca Rose and gets the pinfall. It made sense because that's a type of move that would finish somebody off. So I liked it. This and the match then really spills into chaos. They did some stuff with the ladder. They both, they go back and forth with each other. Lizzie Gray hits the counter cross from the top turnbuckle. Deanna Tommaso hits a back suplex off the top turnbuckle. A superplex, a German superplex. Lizzie Gray hits a Hurricanrana off the top turnbuckle. They did some stuff with the ladder where they suplex each other into it. Like Deanna Tommaso hit like two, hit like two suplexes into the ladder. And then Lizzie Gray hit two spine busters into the ladder that was set up against the ropes. But that was really damn cool. They Lizzie Gray threw Deanna Tommaso off the ladder. She did a drop kick from the ladder. Deanna Tommaso hit a diving headbutt, didn't get the win. And then she hit the diving headbutt from the top rope onto the outside, which was awesome. I thought she was going to kick out of it, and I love the way the commentators saw it by just going like, I'm done. Like, kind of makes you really want to get into it. I think that's pretty damn awesome. They do Lizzie Gray hits a butterfly power bomb, but doesn't get the win off of that either. She throws Deanna Tommaso into the steps. They really start going off on each other. Lizzie Gray hits a moonsault off the ladder on the outside. Doesn't get the win off of that either. Then she did hit it regular too, off the ladder onto the inside of the ring, but didn't get the win. And then Deanna Tommaso hits the third degree, which is a discus lariat. She hit that several times throughout this match, but didn't get Lizzie Gray or, Rebecca Rose when she still was in the match. And then Lizzie Gray did it again on the outside, and they exchanged some submission moves on each other, like an STF, a Texas Cloverleaf, things like that. They did some stuff with the broken bits of table, but Deanna Tommaso tries to tap Lizzie Gray out with the camel clutch. It doesn't work. She hits Lizzie Gray off the head with a guitar, doesn't get the win. But then Lizzie Gray hits the skull to skull, which is a rampage on the outside. And then Lizzie Gray puts the steel steps into the ring, which we knew it was going to tie in, but that kind of really didn't make any sense, but it tied into the finish. And Lizzie Gray hit the Celtic cross off the ladder onto like the edge of the steps, and then both women are down, and then Lizzie Gray gets up, hits a butterfly power bomb into the ladder, and gets the win. And I thought this match was just fucking awesome. This was a great match. I'm giving it 4 3/4 stars. It would have been 5, but consistently breaking up pinfalls in a triple threat elimination match pisses me off, so it's not getting 5. So yeah, because there would have been no question about it. I wouldn't have even had to ask myself. But when I see, if it happens once, fine. But it happened like several times throughout this match, so it's not getting 5 for that reason. But this match was freaking great. And now we have the semifinals set up. I believe it's going to be Vyra. I forget her last name off the top of my head because it's been a bit since I've seen her. Versus Lizzie Gray. And it's going to be Colleen Horizon versus I forget who she's facing. I think it's like it's that dangerous woman that won the last match, but I don't remember her name off the top of my head. I'll have to, if I had it written down, I would. I'll announce it in the next video, because I just can't think of her name right now. Isn't it like Jenna something? I believe Jenna Rams. I think it's something like that. But if I try to come up with more names, I'll get laughed at till the cows come home. We don't want, because we don't know how long it's going to take for the cows to come home, so we don't want to be laughed at. But yeah, great match. 4 3/4 stars. I really enjoyed it, and I thought it was awesome. Okay, so next was a Extreme Rules, Falls Count Anywhere, 2 out of 3 falls, Gold Rush tournament match, Sean Maverick versus Taka Michinoku. And this match was awesome. The video package was really awesome too. You know, these were both legends in the professional wrestling business. Taka Michinoku making his name all around the world in the professional wrestling industry. And, you know, he talked about how he wants to win a world championship. He's never won a world championship. And you have Sean Maverick, who's a former war veteran. And he talks about how he's had to go through a lot to... I'm just grabbing my charger real quick. To get through this tournament. And he's not going to let Taka Michinoku or anybody else stand in his way. And I like how you had Jonathan Caterer kind of breaking down how he's going to call this match. And, you know, they even kind of tied in talking about, you know, using Chris Foster, talking about how the London Devastation took him out. So, I enjoyed the video package a lot. It's definitely one of those things that you definitely have to go see. It was awesome. And the match was awesome. And I've talked about this before. Sean Maverick he's a superstar in the making, whether he wins this tournament or not. Like, he's going to be a star in WYW. Just with his presence, the way he talks, the way he looks. He really is the boss of WYW. No question about it. So I really hope they do some big things with Sean Maverick. But yeah, let's talk about the match. Love the way the match happened. This match was awesome. Taka Michinoku I even like too how they tied in that he's not going to be like J-Bones and show mercy towards Taka Michinoku. I liked that a lot. But yeah, Taka Michinoku flips off Sean Maverick to start off the match, and Sean Maverick goes immediately after him. They exchange moves on each other. They hit, you know, Sean Maverick hits the German suplexes, the belly-to-back suplexes, really awesome clotheslines, and really awesome big boots. But then meanwhile, you have Taka Michinoku using his quickness against Sean Maverick, hitting a quick arm drag from the top rope, a really cool Hurricanrana, a corkscrew plancha, things like that, and it spills out to the outside. Taka Michinoku nearly gets thrown into the steps with a back suplex, but then eventually Taka Michinoku throws Sean Maverick into the steps. He grabs a guitar, hits it with the guitar. He grabs a replica championship belt, but Sean Maverick reverses it, hits him with it, and then he hits Taka Michinoku with the crutch, which busts open Taka Michinoku. And throughout the beginning portions of this matchup, Sean Maverick is trying to tap out Taka Michinoku with headlocks and anaconda vices and things like that. But then eventually Taka Michinoku throws Sean Maverick into the steps. He hits a suplex into the steps. And he pulls apart the announce table. He hits a moonsault off the apron through the announcer's table. Sean Maverick but he doesn't get the pin, the first fall. Sean Maverick gets Taka Michinoku in a torture rack. You know, Taka Michinoku reverses. Taka Michinoku hits a wicked super kick right on Sean Maverick, but doesn't get the win off of that either. Sean Maverick goes for a ladder. Taka Michinoku hits a Cena senton, from inside the ring. And then he hits a suplex into the ladder while it's on the steel steps, but doesn't get the win. Sean Maverick, earlier in the match, hit a jackhammer, and then he hits a Oklahoma slam onto a steel chair. Doesn't get the win. Sean Maverick hits a belly-to-back suplex into the ladder with the chair that was on the steel steps. Doesn't get the win off of that. And Sean Maverick hits the Titan Punch. Doesn't get the win off of that. And then he hits the 12 gauge but he doesn't get the win off of that. He goes for an elbow drop. Taka Michinoku reverses it. He hits a Spaceman moonsault. Doesn't get the win off of that. Hits a Michinoku driver. He doesn't get the win off of that. And Taka Michinoku hits a drop kick while he's on a ladder, sending himself off the ladder. That was pretty damn cool. And eventually Sean Maverick, though, hits the 12 gauge on the ladder, and then he makes Taka Michinoku tap out with the Anaconda Vice. And because this was after Taka Michinoku had finally busted Sean Maverick open with the Brain Buster, which was the biggest mistake that he could have possibly made, because that just pissed off Sean Maverick even more. So Sean Maverick obliterates Taka Michinoku afterwards. He throws him to the outside. He big boots him to the outside. And he grabs a table, but Taka Michinoku hits Sean Maverick with the table, and he puts him onto it. He hits a moonsault off the Spaceman moonsault off the top turnbuckle, covers him, gets the second fall, and Taka Michinoku goes to hit another move, but Sean Maverick catches him into the Titan Punch, and he hits the People's Punch as well. He hits a 12 gauge on the outside, doesn't get the win, and they just proceed to have this like awesome match afterwards, which was awesome. I mean, it was already awesome anyways, but you get what I'm saying. Sean Maverick throws Taka Michinoku into the steps. He obliterates Taka Michinoku throughout much of this matchup by tossing him off with a hip almost like a hip toss off the ladder. Taka Michinoku hits several which is like a running sunset flip, which I forget what they exactly called it. He hits like one into the steps, one again, and they suplex each other into the steps. Taka Michinoku hits the Michinoku driver, doesn't get the win. Sean Maverick tries to do the Anaconda Vice and the Camel Clutch, doesn't happen. And a Sleeper Hold, doesn't happen. Taka Michinoku hits Sean Maverick with a crutch. Sean Maverick hits Taka Michinoku in the ribs and then right off the face with a katana. Taka Michinoku throws Sean Maverick headfirst into the barricade. And he hits like 3 kicks, not even 3, like over 7 kicks in a row, which causes Taka Michinoku to go into a chair, into the steps, and into the ladder face first. Taka Michinoku hits a Spaceman moonsault off a ladder, but doesn't get the win off of that either. Sean Maverick hits the 12 gauge several times in this match, once on the steps, once on the ladder, doesn't get the win off of any of those. And Sean Maverick, hits a power bomb throughout this match, doesn't get the win off of any of those. And eventually, what finally does in Taka Michinoku is Sean Maverick hits an elbow drop, and he gets hit with Titan's Punch, and he gets concertoed after he gets his head hit in the head with the chair, but not with an actual steel chair. Instead of using a chair, he uses a ladder to concerto Taka Michinoku, which was brutal. And then he ends up hitting the Burning Hammer onto a ladder that was set up against the ropes, covers Taka Michinoku, gets the win, and the match was just awesome. This match is 5 stars, no question about it. Everything was perfect about this match. I really loved the story that it told. The Taka Michinoku refused to give up, but Sean Maverick had to kill him anyways. Afterwards, they shake each other as a sign of respect. Awesome fucking match here, though. Really enjoyed it. 5 stars. And I think it's probably going to be the best match. This probably is like one of my favorite matches of the tournament. If I ever have time before Gold Rush, maybe I'll do like my favorite matches of the WYW tournament or something like that. But we'll see. I might not have time because I'll have to go back and rewatch some of them, so I might not do it. But awesome fucking match here, and I don't know what Taka Michinoku goes from here. I'm assuming he's going to go into his feud with London Devastation now. Maybe they should have made an appearance here, but I feel like it kind of would have, taken the spotlight off of Sean Maverick. But yeah, Sean Maverick now will face the winner of Kyle Weaver and Mark Yun. Not sure who's going to win that, so we'll have to wait and see. But yeah, fucking awesome match here. Okay, so as you notice, I'm wearing different clothes because now I'm recording this part of the video on April 25th, 2019 at 7:59 p.m. Because I fell asleep last night during the main event. Not because I was bored of it, but, you know, when you get tired, your body gives out on you after a while. So that's pretty much what happened. I'm kind of pissed about it a little bit because, you know, I wanted to have been stowed in the mega event today, which I'm still going to be able to do, but I wanted to have I would have been stowed in it by now if I didn't fall asleep. But really nothing I can do about it. I just got to work my schedule around it, so whatever. But let's talk about the main event. It was a Extreme Rules Falls Count Anywhere, 2 out of 3 falls. Gold Rush tournament match. It was Kyle Weaver versus Mark Yun. I thought the video package they used to build this matchup was awesome. You have Kyle Weaver, who took out Corey Dangerous from the tournament, and now he wants to do the same thing to Mark Yun, since the Maggie Daddy men have really been running roughshod in WYW, and you have Mark Yun, where all he cares about is making money, winning championships, and he doesn't care who he has to step on to get that championship. And he talks about, you know, how he's a strategist. He's gonna do whatever it takes to win the championship, no matter what strategy, even if he has to change his game plan on the fly. And it kind of shows, like, all those tournament matches, how he's been doing that, how, you know, he beat Chris Dodd via interference from Corey Dangerous, how he beat Jason G by goading him in a fight backstage. So the video package for this was awesome. Kyle Weaver talked about how he's not going to let any of Mark Yun's mind games get the best of him. So I really like this. And then you had the match, and if you're looking to watch this match as in terms of a match perspective, it's probably one of the worst matches of the tournament. It's not like it's a bad match or anything like that, but, you know, it's not on par with, you know, like Taka Michinoku versus Sean Maverick, you know, James Archangel versus Luco Lucky, James Archangel versus Brett Mention versus Johnny Stowe, Michael X versus Brandon Curtis, you know, Sean Maverick versus Austin Watunsky, or Zach Watunsky, I forget his name now off the top of my head, or any other, you know, my match with Kyle Weaver versus Corey Dangerous. They're not going to be, you know, up to par with those matches, but I think this match brings a little bit something different to the table that the other matches don't. Mark Yun is such a heel. He just wants to win the match. He doesn't care about putting on these 5-star performances like, you know, all of these other professional wrestlers do. And I think that's great heel work right there. You know, in a way, it makes sense. The heels shouldn't really want to please the fans. The heels shouldn't want to give the fans what they want. So the fact that he's not giving them these 5-star matches, I think makes sense. And I liked it. You know, the beginning portions of this matchup, this time around, Kyle Weaver's not as emotional. He's not, you know, overzealous like he was in the Corey Dangerous match. He's actually trying to, you know, have a, you know, he still wants to kick the crap out of Mark Yun, but he's still, you know, having like a technical wrestling match with him in the beginning. That's kind of what the storyline was. I liked the, you know, sunset, you know, tope he hit on the outside. I thought that was awesome. The suplex in from the apron that Mark Yun hit was pretty cool. Kyle Weaver hit the with a really nice head scissors, and he hits he hits a drop kick setting Mark Yun outside the ring, and Mark Yun lays him out on the floor. He grabs a ring bell. He hits Kyle Weaver in the head with it, and he goes to hit him again in the head, but Kyle Weaver kicks him in the ribs, and he ducks a couple of windmill shots, and he hits a monkey flip on the floor, but he's unable to reverse the other windmill shot, so he gets hit with a back suplex on the floor, onto the windmill. He gets hit with the windmill itself, and then Kyle Weaver gets the windmill, and Mark Young escapes, and he grabs a sledgehammer, but Kyle Weaver beats him to the punch with the windmill shot, and Kyle Weaver gets the sledgehammer, which I actually, Mark Young calls Nancy, I think, the sledgehammer, and, Mark Young, attacks Kyle Weaver before he can get into the ring with the sledgehammer, but eventually Kyle Weaver hits him in the ribs with the sledgehammer. He hits him, he beats him kind of repeatedly with the sledgehammer. But then Mark Young gains the advantage. He hits a Young bomb onto the sledgehammer, doesn't get the win. Kyle Weaver hits his signature move, the sunset flip, doesn't get the win off of that, and Mark Young hits an elbow drop. Kyle Weaver he hits a wicked clothesline. He hits a dynamite destroyer onto the sledgehammer, which busts open Kyle Weaver. He reverses a roll up. Kyle Weaver hits a dynamite destroyer himself, and he hits a Heyman's leg drop from the top rope, but doesn't get the win. He pulls out a ladder, power bombs Kyle Weaver into it. Kyle Weaver before that had hit a springboard leg drop through the table, which was pretty damn cool. There was like a senton leg drop too. But then eventually after Mark Young powerbomb Kyle Weaver onto the ladder, Kyle Weaver from out of nowhere gets a Hurricanrana roll up onto Mark Young, and he actually gets the first fall of the match, which I didn't see coming at all. I really liked it. And I like that it kind of surprised Mark Young. It kind of caught him off guard. And Mark Young loses it. He clotheslines him outside the ring. He hits an elbow drop from the top of the ladder on the outside, but he doesn't get the win when he puts him back in the ring. And then Kyle Weaver hits a Hurricanrana through the ladder. And then Young hits a second Young bomb in the ring, and he brings him to the outside. He hits a third power bomb through the table, announcer's table, and he covers him on the outside, gets the second fall, so then they're tied 1-1. And I think it's kind of different too in a way when you have the heel have to kind of fight back, but I like because I like that. And they just beat the crap out of each other. Kyle Weaver loses it. He grabs a baseball bat and beats Mark Young with the baseball bat. Mark Young really utilizes the sledgehammer to his advantage. He chokes Kyle Weaver with it. He really beats the crap out of him. He DDTs to him onto it. He hits a suplex onto the baseball bat and the sledgehammer. Kyle Weaver on the outside hits Mark Young off the head with a baseball bat, busting him open. Mark Young hits another power bomb, and then he hits a suplex through a table that was on fire, which was awesome. Kyle Weaver hits his dynamite destroyer and things like that a handful of times. Hits a really cool Cena senton, a really cool hot shot, and eventually Mark Young just beats Kyle Weaver repeatedly with the sledgehammer, and he does a concerto, but he doesn't use a steel chair. He uses the sledgehammer, the top part of the sledgehammer, which is the hardest part of the sledgehammer. And then he hits the Lion Tamer, and Kyle Weaver has no choice but to tap out. I don't know if they were supposed to sell it like he passed out, but I think the commentators would have said that. Like the way the commentators were acting throughout this match, where they really didn't want Mark Young to win, and how Jonathan Caterer got really quiet and stuff, and took his headset off. There were points where he took his headset off and came back on commentary. I thought that was a nice storytelling element right there. And yeah, I really liked the match. I thought it was really good. I like the storyline that it told. And like I said, this is definitely a match that's more storyline based than match based. So just based off of that, I'm going to give the match 3 3/4. I think it's a really good main event. Definitely go out of your way to watch it. Afterwards, Kyle Weaver, leaves and refuses medical attention, and he taunts the crowd, and they show him respect at the end, which I thought was a nice touch right there. It kind of shows how much of a big baby face and underdog he is. I thought someone was gonna lay him out afterwards, like Mark Young would have come back out and laid him out, or they were gonna have somebody else, but it didn't happen. And then backstage, Mark Young, is talking trash and talks about how he advanced in the tournament and he took out Kyle Weaver just like he said he would. And then Michael X pops up and says that, Mark Young really only has one good move. And then Mark Young calls Michael X a paraplegic. And Michael X says he's not a paraplegic because he can walk, which if you know Michael X like in real life, that's the type of answer he definitely would have given. And Mark Young says, but at one point I put you on the injury list, and I'm going to do it again. And Michael X says that in time we will cross paths again, and we could be in this tournament, but right now you got to worry about the guy behind you. And who's behind them? None other than Sean Maverick. And he says, yo bitch, and knocks him out with a Titan punch, and then the show goes off the air. And that was basically the end of the show. But I thought this backstage segment was awesome. I think it did a really good job to set up, Sean Maverick versus Mark Young in the next episode, which I really, really, really hope that Sean Maverick wins and Michael X beats James Archangel, because I really want to see Michael X versus Sean Maverick. I think that'd be an awesome match, and I think that should be the match. You could go the Michael X Mark Young route as well, considering the fact that they have storyline from when Michael X was taken out by Mark Young, but I really want to see Sean Maverick versus Michael X. You could always go back and do Michael X versus Mark Young. That could be like Michael X's first title defense if he wins, or you could have Mark Young if Michael X loses, take him out. But I really want to see the finals of the tournament be Sean Maverick versus Michael X. I really hope it is. So yeah, that's basically it. And all the matches too, since we're at the semifinals now, the two semifinal matches of Gold Rush are going to be cell block matches. And if you want to know what those are, I got to keep you guys coming back for the next episode. I will explain what a cell block match is in the next WYW review, which will be the mega event. Because if I just explain it right now, you guys won't have a reason to come back and watch the next video. So I got to send you guys in with a hook. But yeah, all of this was a win. 3 3/4 star, but the segment itself makes it 4, but we don't judge segments, we just judge matches. The match itself is just 3 3/4 stars, but I really like the end and main event segment and everything like that. And that's pretty much the episode. I really enjoyed this episode. It's in the A category. I don't think it's quite an A+. I know I've been given the last 2 episode A+, and I still stand by that, but I don't think this one was quite an A+. It wasn't a perfect episode, and people are gonna ask what's wrong with it. I really can't think of it, but I judge shows like I judge 5-star matches, where if I have to ask myself if it's a perfect show, then it's not a perfect show, because the perfect wrestling show, movie, or anything like that, when you see it. This, I had to ask myself, so it's not the perfect wrestling show, so I'm gonna give this an A. So, yeah, A show. Really enjoyed everything on it. I really liked, the main event. I think I might have given this an A+. Maybe if Sean Maverick and Taka Michinoku had gone on last. I understand maybe why it kind of couldn't go on last, because then that backstage segment kind of wouldn't make any sense. But I still think they could have done that backstage segment. Even with Sean Maverick winning, like Sean Maverick could go backstage afterwards. And, Mark Young could still be talking shit, and the same thing could happen. I feel like they could work with it. But yeah, awesome show. A show. And that's pretty much the end of the video. Thank you guys for watching. At some point, either it's definitely going to be tomorrow. I just don't know when tomorrow. I'm going to have the mega event review up. But that's pretty much the end of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure you guys like, comment, and share this video so people will watch it. Make sure you guys subscribe to this channel for more content and click on the bell so that way every time I upload a video, you guys get the notifications for it. Make sure you guys do the same thing for my CM brothers and on the Talking 80 YouTube channels. And make sure you subscribe to Win With Youth Wrestling so you can watch Immortal, and also this channel so you can watch Immortal through this channel and do it. I think it's going to be posted to James Hebert's channel as well. Make sure you check it out there. And that's pretty much it, guys. Talk to you later.